Alright, good evening, race fans, and welcome alive tonight here, Daytona. We're kicking off the Cup Series tonight. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be an exciting race here as these guys from the Great Lakes Cup Series, man, about ready to push this thing to the envelope here for you. So, hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy, man, everything is about to happen here because it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one, anyways. Well, Alex, man, welcome back to the booth. How you been doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. Just super excited for the race tonight. Never seen a big track like this racing on the iRacing. I mean, you got Michigan, a couple in the other league we did, but this one's different beast. It's the Cup cars now, and a lot of the same guys. Good to see them back, but we're in the Cup cars now. We're not in the truck, so I'm pretty excited to see the difference between the two and how the race is going to transpire.
Absolutely. I tell you what, and it's a big track too. That's another thing we got to keep in mind is, you know, this place is huge in stature. It's just basically a huge track altogether. So, going to be some side by side, tooth and nail style racing as we're getting set here. Qualifying's underway, folks, here for the Great Lakes Truck. Or I always say the Truck Series, but we got the Truck Series too coming up here soon. But this is the Cup Series here for you here tonight, folks.
Yeah, I think it'll take us a couple minutes to get the Truck Series out. Maybe even let it slip that we're watching the trucks, you know. But they'll be back beginning middle of January. Pretty excited for both of those leagues to be going at the simultaneously. Good group of guys going here.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you what, like you just said there before, so good group, man. Here we go. Qualifying. Looks like the man on top there, oh, Peter. Well, we know it's Pete normally runs the Pete truck, and right now he's got it on pole, which here's the thing about Daytona. A lot of people, man, they look at Daytona qualifying and whatnot. I'm not going to say that qualifying don't matter, but it's not the most important thing. I've seen guys win, obviously from the front, the middle, the back. I've seen them win from 2 laps down. So it can be done. It all depends on how the race, unfolds for them and so forth, so on. So again, yeah, you'd love to be up front, and like you said, there's going to be some strategies here tonight.
I'm kind of curious about seeing who's going to be rolling with what and what strategy everyone's going to be rolling, because you got to think, because you can go, hey, if you're up front, everything happens behind you, more likely than not. But if you're in the back, you also got time to react, but there's a possibility that you're going to get wrapped up in it, because you never know. Some dude might come right out of left field that you thought you were clear of, and he might just come and just give you a little nick, and it'll send you spinning, because if I remember correctly, they're talking no quick fixes.
No, that's right. Series. And I like that too. No fast fix.
That's a big thing they got going.
Well, I like that too, Alex. I've got a lot of leagues that actually run with no fast fix and so forth. So really kind of like that perspective of it, because I think it brings about guys having to be a little bit more cautious on the track. So as we're getting set to greet them up here tonight, we're going racing here, Daytona style, kicking off the Cup Series here. You got Peter sitting out front there along with Brandon Burkuski. Nathan Nixon right there sitting at third. Max Williams there in fourth place. You got Christopher Heller there sitting in fifth. Matthew Daniels sixth. Ashton Lawrence the seventh. Hunter up in the eighth. Frederick Creemans in ninth. And Eric Kipp rounds the top 10. So look to the rest of it, man. I'll tell you what, it's got some great looking machines out there, the Cup cars. Going to be fast. Folks out there, let me know how it sounds to you. Obviously, always working on the difference of sounds. Make sure that me and Alex sounds kind of even out there to you. If it sounds good, looks good to you, let us know. As always, man, appreciate everybody tuning in. Alex, man, here we go. We're getting set to go racing.
Hey, Joe, a little technical thing going on. Can you check your message I sent you real quick?
Yeah, hang on a sec. Yeah. Yeah, that might be something you might need. There you go, Alex.
Hey, thanks, man. Now we're good. I can see it all. I can see everything.
All right, to tell you what, here we go. These guys, man, are getting out on the field. Let me know if you see everything there, Alex, man. Does everything look good on your end? So, well, I'll tell you what, man. Daytona, big tracks, 2.5 miles out here. Guys are going to get set here to do some laps around this place. What do you think? Maybe it's you know, we always talk about favorites, but there again, sometimes, man, you know, when you get into the plate track racing, I've always said it. This place is kind of a, you know, wild card style racing.
Yeah, to answer your question, Joe, I can see everything good now. So we're rolling pretty good over here on my side. I appreciate you putting that up for me. But I don't. I mean, I think it's too early. I mean, it's the first race. Don't think we can really call favorites yet. I don't know how they transfer from trucks and into the cup cars. You know, maybe they're fantastic in the trucks and just a little bit off speed in the cup cars. You never know. I'm kind of curious to see how the race goes out and how my notes come about, and to see who we got going that's going to be doing real good and who's going to be kind of faltering a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see, like you said, who is going to be the man here tonight. As we get set, green flag flies. We're racing here, folks. Daytona style to kick off the season for the Great Lakes Truck Series here live tonight. As these guys storm off down into turn one, Nathan right there along with it. What we're probably going to see a little bit of, obviously we're going to see a lot of drafting here, but right now you've got the first top three guys kind of single file for the moment.
Yeah, and to go in about the drafting, I was watching one of the practice races or whatever you want to call it, and it seems like they're gonna try their best to kind of keep off a little bit, not really get up in there when they're bump drafting through the corners, because it seemed like it was getting a little squirrely when people were doing that. Saw a couple wrecks because of them drafting a little too aggressively into the corners, but I'm excited to see where their mentality is and how they're going to go about getting the grooves rolling, and
Caution's out.
seeing which. That was fast. I didn't even notice that right off the bat.
Yeah, just saw it right now. Let's go back on the replay here and see really quick. Like a couple other guys were crashing. Before that, Chris Wright. Oh yeah, right there. Chris Wright got involved, got into him, and Chris went around. From there, it was just kind of chaos, as we normally know here. How Talladega and Daytona, I don't want to say Talladega for some reason, but how that happened. So wow, just like that, caution out.
I'm kind of interested on how, because I mean, obviously I'm still a little late to the game. Like I preach pretty much, I'm late to the iRacing game, but I'm kind of like, let me run this past you. How long does it usually take to fix a car with no quick fix, or how does that usually go about?
Well, it all depends on the damage of the car. That's going to be the number one thing. I mean, if it's bad damage or too bad a damage, Man, you're gonna be hurting for the rest of the race. If it's just a little crinkle, could be a few seconds or maybe like a minute or so. It all depends. The bad thing is though is we're at a plate track, and and I know plate tracks are more aero dependent. So any crinkle to these cars, sure, if you stay tucked up behind someone, you might be all right. Problem you're going to run into is when you try to step out and try to run the draft yourself.
Yeah, and I couldn't have said it any better than you did. Like, if you're tucked behind the dude, it's just going to go right over, say all the damage is up right in the front or whatever. It's just going to go right over you if you're close enough hugging onto him. Like, that'd be a good spot to be and maybe not waste some time trying to get a fix and just kind of take your place in line and know your place for pretty much the entire race. But like you said, if they step out and you're getting into that open air right on, and that aerodynamics is going to be a little messed up, and it'll more likely than not just slow you and bring you off the pace kind of. And we'll see how it plays out and who goes to fix and who doesn't and how they play it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like you just said right there. So Peter's still the man out front. Got a lot of guys that, unfortunately took out a couple there in that wreck. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Got a good stack field here. Started with 33 machines out on the field. Hey, what's going on, ZF, man, and Wyram? How y'all doing out there, man? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, definitely let us know how me and Alex sound as far as level wise goes. We sound level. You can hear the cars pretty good in the back and so forth and so on. And mascot over here hanging out. So Daytona, man, I tell you what, it's basically one of these tracks here, Alex, where you just kind of just had to hang on.
Oh my God, coughing up a storm around here, but it looks like they're stacking up, getting ready to go. A little curiosity question again, has nothing to do with the fixes like I asked earlier, but is the person driving, quote unquote, the pace car, is that a bot or a computer or what's
It's computer.
Yeah,
it's computer. Yeah.
I was just say, because they cut hard down pit road. Pretty motivating how hard they cut down pit road. Maybe some of the real guys should aspire to make that cut that hard and coming off pit road to get in front of the field. I was just kind of saw that when they took off pit road. Just kind of was a little curious about how that went about.
Oh, okay, Worm. All right. What's going on, Worm? How you doing, man? Well, I appreciate you letting me know on the sound stuff. Like I say, I want to make sure the cars sound, you can hear the cars pretty good. Obviously far away camera-wise is different, but as far as me and Alex, you can hear us, clear, and we sound level. Obviously, I'm setting up a little bit different here, getting geared up for the 2021 season here, guys. We're kind of most of the leagues are in the off season right now, so you only got a few broadcasts here and there. Hope everybody's getting geared up for Christmas time and the New Year's and so on and so forth. Getting set here to go back. Green flag racing, pace cars in, the man up front. You got to take it not quite as long as Talladega is, as we're set. Green flag, back row racing again.
We had that person dive down pit road too right off the bat. I didn't see who it was, but as Peter's kind of up here doing his thing up front, he seems pretty comfortable. Honestly, kind of disheartening how I don't see the duck, but it's okay.
That's all right.
I'll hold it against him.
Well, I did hear some inside information gearing up for the truck series, which is a kind of a collaboration between these two series. I mean, obviously this is the Great Lakes Cup series. You got the Great Lakes Truck Series, which runs on Tuesday nights. That Peter will be bringing a new duck paint job back. That's going to be pretty exciting. But tonight he's got the 43 machine out front running pretty good, and actually we could get a good one there. Worldwide Technologies there behind it and on it tonight.
Oh, that one looks pretty good. It reminds me of kind of a Valvoline paint scheme, same color, same stuff. That number 10 machine right there with, who's that, Matthew Daniels right there?
Daniels,
looks like he's throwing the Dale Earnhardt color car in there. He's even got the GM Goodwrench on there. Pretty nice to see that, knowing that I come from a family of Earnhardt fans and seeing that, and pretty cool to see that right there.
Absolutely. Well, we go a little further back here. Everybody's kind of single file right now. Now, here's another take on this too, folks. Week 13 has happened here at iRacing. They have what it is every 13 weeks in iRacing. They do a new build. They come out with new content and so forth and so on. What they just did this past week here, and I know they brought out some dirt stuff. Did a little bit of tweaking to the tire model there. Some things that they kind of do here on iRacing there, Alex, just to let you know. And there's patch notes out there that they might put. They bring in some new tracks, new cars. I know they brought in the big block dirt car, which go see some of that get broadcasted here as the new season kicks off. But I know they redid some of the tire model here for the the NASCAR and the setup stuff. As you see a little bit of jockeying going around up top here. So that might actually settle some of these cars down. We're used to seeing them maybe go side by side, but these cars are pretty stable as they are. I mean, this Cup package is usually pretty stable no matter what.
Yeah, I'll have to look into some of these patch things and updates that you're talking about because, like you said, kind of just to fill me in. I'm still a little behind on the game, but I'm trying to catch up as much as I can, and even just learning a lot, just being up here with you and talking with some of my buddies and some of the guys in this group, just kind of learning a little bit more here and there when I can. Good thing though is I got to jump on the rules and the points and stuff for this season before it was the end of the last race, like the truck series. So these guys are kind of coming out of that single file, kind of trying to run a second groove up there, and it looks like it's not doing too bad, but it's just kind of staying kind of moving up and moving back, kind of usually how it does. It's kind of how it's looking to me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to look at right now. It still looks like the low line's maybe the most dominant line right now. They're trying to form up that high line, and it kind of looks like the old Cup package that they used to have here, where that top lane you had to have a lot of work. And right now you kind of see the guys kind of struggling up there. So to me, it looks like they're going to have a lot of cars try to get up there. Maybe that's one of the changes that happened during week 13. Kind of messed a little bit with the setup of how these things run, and now you're kind of seeing that inside lane. To me, it looks dominant car round. Uh-oh, they collected the 10 machine right there. Yellow flags out. Wow. I can watch that one again.
Is it too early to call a big one?
Well, we always say it's not if, it's when the big one's going to happen here. And you saw it right here. We saw it live. It looks like they were trying to get into place to get around the lap car. We'll kind of maybe slow it down and see if there was a little bit of contact involved. Oh, yeah, just a little contact. It looked like they were just trying to get around. You can see the cars, man, up into the wall. 10 machine there, and unfortunately, the lap machine nowhere to go. 27 involved in that one. Oh, everybody in the back stretch back there just kind of boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that not if it'll happen, when it'll happen kind of thing is kind of a given at here and in Talladega as well, like we mentioned earlier. As you almost called it Talladega, but
I know, man. I don't know why I got Talladega. I don't know why I got Talladega on my mind, man. Talladega must be on my mind or something. Daytona, man. Daytona. Talladega's on my mind. Sorry about that, folks. Look. I've been off for a couple weeks now. It's been, like I said, the off season, so I got to get back in the groove of things here. Under caution here tonight, and like I said, it's just one of those deals where the guys gotta be patient at some point. So see what happens as the race goes on, and yeah, I think these guys will learn. Be a little calm down just a little bit. See.
I see looking on at the field that's kind of going past right now. Elliot Henderson has got pretty much the same paint scheme. I mean, I know he runs that where he does designs and stuff and makes them for people. That's his website and stuff like that.
Elliot Henderson, you said? All right, let's see.
Yeah. Pretty much like his
he got
truck.
caught up in that wreck right there. Let's see if we can't get a if I could get a good better shot of him. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. He's got the EHG, I believe, Elliot Henderson Gaming, or I'm pretty sure that's what it was. After looking on his website, he's got those paint schemes and all that stuff that he makes, which is actually really cool of him to do. And it looks like he's just bringing over the same thing from the Great Lakes Truck Series into this Cup car, and it looks pretty good over on the car as well. Definitely like the mix of colors and how he is like using himself as a sponsor, and just think that's really cool of him to do and do this kind of designing and stuff for other people in iRacing, and just a cool little fun fact about him, and that he does that and makes these people do these things. And
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you just said right there. I mean, a lot of guys, and you mentioned it, bringing over his own sponsor, the thing that he does, and that's the joys of kind of like what iRacing is you'll see a lot of guys. I mean, obviously, like right there with the one car, the Interstate, you'll see those, your normal sponsors, the normal NASCAR drivers, but then you'll see things like, you talk about Elliott right there. Guys bringing over their own, real business style sponsors. How many cars are left alive? Looks to be about 22, maybe 25 machines, maybe a little more out there alive and running so far. You'll have to check the ticker out here and we'll see. Got a lot of guys coming in and out of the pits because obviously, we're on still under caution here. Now we're going to line them back up, but I'm going to say roughly Elliott's back in 19th, so got Schaefer, Scott's back there in 21st. I like his car, man. Turtles, man. Look at that. That's cool.
that car is legit.
I like that, yeah. Teenage Turtles, man.
Here, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Now that we're on the topic,
I like Ralph, man. I do like Ralph. Ralph's pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Raphael with his little size, those little trident things.
Yeah, I mean, I like his.
My favorite.
I kind of like his. I don't know. He's Billy Bad attitude, I guess, of him, man. I do like the dude with the sword. I mean, like how the swords are used and all. But I mean, as far as I like old Ralph. He's cool. Which now Mikey's funny, man. I like Mikey too. So I don't know, man. That's a tough one. They're all kind of cool. I grew up watching all them, man.
Yeah, I remember watching some of the TV shows and the movies that had him in there, and I always liked Raphael because he always seemed to be the hothead of the group, and obviously Mikey's the jokester, and Donatello the genius, and he's with his staff and everything purple, which is my favorite color, but he's not my favorite one. I usually like Raphael just because I was a little hot-headed growing up, and he kind of was like me. As we go back green right here,
flag back at it again. Race car.
Front.
That's it. Peter looks like his strategy is to stay up front. And like I said, you talked about earlier on while we were in qualifying, guys have different strategies. One want to drop back to the back, and we've seen that in real life. Teams will drop in the back, try to avoid the big crashes and so forth, so on. And most of these crashes happen up front right now. But some guys, they prefer staying up front, staying out front in this thing, and trying to stay up there. So all kinds of different strategies will be played out through here. Right now, everybody's kind of single file the freight train.
Yeah, it seems like like as you said earlier, how I commented on maybe the different strategy, either staying up front or whatnot. Some of those guys that were hanging out back might have been brought up towards the front because of the crashes that have been happening, and making a couple cars slower back there. But I'm kind of curious to see the different groups and how, because like we've said, Peter's kind of chilling up front, trying to do his thing. Maybe
who did you say before was the ones who were going to talk about the strategy of staying behind?
It was just a second. Was Cole Bradley and his team, the CB3 Motorsports team of Christopher Heller, Brandon Barkowski, Cole Bradley, Cody Williams, and one more, Justin Benda.
Unfortunately, Cody looks like he got caught up in a wreck. Looks like Cody got caught up in a wreck. Now, we're riding here with Chris. He's kind of in the back right now, around about 15th place spot, kind of hanging out back there.
Yeah, I was looking as the stuff was kind of flashing through. Bradley sitting there in 11th or 12th right now after that quick little change or so. Maybe they're just trying to link up and stay with each other at the back how they can. Looks like they mostly have avoided what they could. And see, like, we got two different strategies we just talked about. We got the Peter chilling up front. We got that team kind of chilling in the back, seeing how they can get things rolling from.
Oh, car
we got a car going around.
Yeah, that's
multiple cars.
Yeah. Oh, I was just talking about Christopher, man. He got caught in it. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And is there going to be a caution? Because it wasn't Christopher that originally, he got caught up in it. Don't know who spun right there in front of him. It happened in front of Christopher. See him right there. Christopher got hit from behind. Looks like the 4 machine. So let's go ride with the 4. Okay, let's go back and ride with the 4 machine.
Rocking that Kevin Hart.
Oh, he just got turned. Yeah, just got
right
clipped in the back. Yeah. Wow.
This Christopher just got ran over from the back.
Yeah.
As we saw from his before we were looking from the
and
looks like
real quick there, Alex. Well, the real quick right there, Alex, and I like that. You know, obviously keep the race going and whatnot. Bump drafting going wrong a little bit there on that one. You know, it's real easy, man, to catch somebody in the rear corner. You know, we talk about that in real life too. But here's the thing. Yeah, you ask probably, well, why wasn't there caution? Well, on a big track like Daytona, iRacing a lot of times, you know, want to throw a caution if you're off the track far enough. And it looked like they were just off the track out of the way far enough. So, and I like, you know, keep the race going. You know, longer style race here. They definitely probably could have the time to get back up, but again, you're early in the race, and you see these guys right now up front here. Let's do a little technicalness into it. You see right now how far apart they are now. I call that textbook drafting early on, where you got about a hood, half a hood car length in between them. You don't want to stick your nose up on the bumper of them yet. That's usually geared up for the last 5 or the last lap of the race. Then you just don't really care if you blow it up. But early on, there's a couple places you don't want to bump draft. I mean, going into the turn, out of the turn, in a trioval and out of trioval. Kind of some danger spots there.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like you said, how they're going to do a lot of the, let's say, harder bump drafting towards the end of the race. But kind of curious to see how some of the new guys to this league, how they work with a lot of the regulars in this league, because we got a lot of transfers from the truck series. We got
18 right
down,
there,
hitting the cone over.
And you know 18. What was crazy right there was, and we don't see that often with this Cup car and this package. Again, I gotta take it back to, remember, we're in week 13, and like I say, Alex, I think anybody else might be a little new to iRacing. Week 13, you know, they tweak things. They come out with new builds and all. I know they have changed the tire model, some of the V7 tire models, what they call it. And they have changed and tweaked a little bit of the fixed setups, which is what we're running here. So, there's a possibility that these cars could be a little bit more slicker than what we're used to seeing out here. Because right there, you know, that's just not, that wasn't usually common to see. He just actually almost lost that thing in the turn. And what I'm noticing with these cars here tonight is they don't look quite as stable as they used to look Kind of the pass, and it looks like, oh yeah, we
got that guy, a couple guys sideways up here in front of him.
Yellow flag is out. See who the yellow flag is. It's Jeff Johnson. Let's see exactly who that was. Watching the replay right here, folks. Oh, Elliott, man, got up front, pushing and shoving a little bit. I mean, I'll say it's a little early to be pushing. See, all right, I'm going to go back to what I was saying early and about what I was about to say right there. That's a perfect textbook example of, folks, I'm going to say, what not to do. What Elliott did right there. Bump draft in the middle of a turn. The last lap, absolutely. You know, all's fair in love and war, love and racing, whatever you want to call it right there. But, man, we're early in the race, and you just don't want to put yourself in a bad situation to where you're going to wreck. And, you know, unfortunately right there, you know, Elliott's already been caught up in one wreck, and now right there, man, just got in the back. And I know racers, you know, man, Alex, they want to get to the front, but, man, it's a long way to go.
Yeah, it's just after learning as much as I have in the recent years of racing, the race is a chess match, and it's whoever has the best strategy to win will get there and will be a contender. But something that came up that I saw through one of the replays, who is it, number 82, Jeff Johnson, also running the Elliott Henderson Gaming paint scheme. Just a little different than Elliott's himself, but looks like he's running a similar paint scheme. Yeah. He's got the EHG on the hood, just green and black instead of green, purple, and black. I mean, actually, let me take a quick peek here at the teams.
Yeah, we're looking at it. We're looking at them right now.
Yeah, they're on the same team.
Can't get a good shot of him right there, but get another good shot when he comes out of his paint job. But yeah, Jeff Johnson looks like he is running it. A little bit of damage on the rear. Hopefully he doesn't have too much on the front. But I think he's going to get some repairs done too.
Yeah, and I mean, we're only just about at a quarter done with the race. I think everyone is still, despite the practice races and whatnot, and the qualifying and everything, still maybe trying to get their feel, kind of see how they're going to be running this. But I think all that'll...
Well, what happened is I think now, you know, all the adrenaline's going to start calming down a little bit for these guys getting out here on the track. And I think they're going to realize, you know, and obviously I hate to go back. We go back on that last caution there was a perfect example of now's the time. You got to calm down just a little bit. You get a long, you know, got a long way to go here, and still got some racing. You got to be there at the end to win it, and that's the old saying there too. And you know, so now you know. Okay, look, I need to calm down a little bit. I don't need to push the issue as much as I, you know, have to. I've got a fast enough car to get to the front. Again, got to have a car to get to the front, you know, so to be able to win this thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I like seeing Peter kind of where he's been. He's kind of up front, keeping everything clean. Like he was in the truck series, he was a constant name that we would talk about, and now he's up here. I kind of like his strategy a lot. This personally is what I would do if I were in the situation. I would try and run up front. I don't like reacting from the back, but that's just me personally. I like how he's kind of staying up front, kind of keeping everything clean. And I mean, he's still contending. He's still up there. He's in what, third place right now? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like that strategy a lot. And like I said, just me personally in the game of chess that we call NASCAR racing, iRacing, and all that stuff. And that's just the way I would go personally, and I like it.
You know what? And you talk about a game of chess. Really, when it comes down to plate track racing like we've got here with Daytona, it really is a game of chess, because you got to put that car in the right spot. I always say skill is not the number one thing when it comes to plate track racing. It's a lot of luck is involved, but you like you said, you've got to be able to put that car in the right position at the right time with the right drafting help too. That's another thing. And just be there at the end to win this thing. So we'll just have to see as we get set here. Looks like go back green, man, out front there. Another thing we'll talk about here real quick. Looks like one car's going to drop off on the pit stop there along with him. Out front, Jason Adams along with Matthew Durr. Another thing we don't really talk, we haven't talked or pointed out and talked much about here too, Alice, is the fact of tire wear. Tire wear is not the most drastic thing here. You can get away with running on older tires for so long here. I think fuel is going to be the most important thing here.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't talked about tires too much. Because we got, who's that? Jason Adams out front, 48. Got the JJ scheme kind of going on with the ALI. Looks pretty good up there. But yeah, I'm kind of.
And again,
as he goes around and takes Peter with him. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, again, I'm gonna guys, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We saw right there. Wow. Let's go back on the replay. You saw it right there. He just got clipped from behind the 48. Did of Jason Adams. Go back and see. You can see him right there and just right out the turn. Folks, I'm telling you, it's not going to work out well for these guys to sit there. As many you see cars just going everywhere. For these guys to sit and bump draft in the turn. It's not going to fare well. You got to take it back to being a little bit over aggressive, you know, and I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna pay the price for it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that was another textbook of pretty much, like you said before, what really not to do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't, you know, we don't like saying it like that here in the broadcast and whatnot, but unfortunately, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there are some places that you don't want to bump draft in, unless obviously, like say, last lap, you know, everything's out the door then. But you know, doing it in the turn, through the turn, out of the turn, in the tri-ovals, those are places you just don't want to. Down the straightaways and back stretches usually the places you want to you know, do your bumping and so forth. And then really there is a certain limit you want to do it at too. What we've seen all night long though, unfortunately, Alex, is guys are just getting hooked in the back, but they're doing it through the turn. And I'm already seeing with these cars they don't look as planted as they were maybe a build ago. So maybe it's not taking as much room to get out, because used to you could save these cars really easily from a spin. Now it looks like they're a little bit more slicker than what they were. So something to keep an eye on throughout the season 2 of how these cars react. But unfortunately tonight, you know, just you know, kind of no other way to kind of say it. A little over aggressive driving has cost some guys probably a win here at the start of the Great Lakes Cup Series here at Daytona.
Yeah, I'm really interested in how you're kind of talking about how not as planted you're saying the cars are with this package. I mean, I've never seen a Cup Series.
Let me explain on what it is. Obviously, you know, you follow NASCAR, you know the differences of in real life the Cup packages. And when they come to plate races, you know, they got the big wing, they've got a lot of aero, you know, downforce and so forth on the cars. iRacing, let's put it in the virtual perspective here. iRacing pretty much mimicked that, and these cars were pretty planted. They were pretty well even. If they kind of went into a little slide, you were able to kind of correct it really even. So they were really planted, okay? So they weren't as, like really loose under the style package. What I'm seeing tonight, it looks like, and again, I'd have to confirm this with a lot of drivers, and plus from what I've read on the patch notes, they worked on the tire model and they tweaked a little bit with the fixed setup. If they've done that, okay, and then obviously with the dynamic tracks that they have here, if they've done that, what I'm seeing is maybe it has caused these cars to be not as planted or a little looser than what they were. So they're not as stable driving as they used to be and whatnot. So something that'll be curious to watch as the series goes on. But it's just kind of something I'm picking up on and I'm seeing. I could be wrong. I could be way out in left field. But just by reading the patch notes, just by seeing these cars the way they are, it looks like they're a little bit not quite as planted or as much downforce as what they used to have.
And that'll come with me being more of a student of the game, how I've been, as they're looking to go green right now, but that'll come more with more looking at stuff, talking with the guys and learning how they're running each week at the tracks and how the cars are reacting and all that jazz. And as the green flag drops, and a lot of guys are already dipping down to the bottom side.
Yeah,
bottom line, excuse me.
Yeah, bottom line looks like the place you want to be here, man. There, I seen it, and like what you were saying right now. The biggest thing I'm seeing tonight is maybe get those butterflies and get calmed down on the track a little bit. I know everybody's excited to get the season going and getting out here racing, but right now just kind of calm down a little bit. Now you see the 18 right there. He bump drafted, but then as soon as going into the turn, you saw right there, he backed off. So that's what you do. That was almost pretty much I want to say perfect, but it was a good example. Pretty good. Hey, I was pushing him down the back stretch, but then he instantly backed off. We see that a ton of times in real racing for those guys. So, again, you just got to play it patient, and you definitely want all the fenders on your car to be there at the end. So we'll just have to see how it plays out here at the end.
Yeah, that looked really good as we all saw. He just stuck his nose in there and kind of gave him a push right there, and they just soared past the 28 of Frederick Cremens? Cremens?
I'm going to say Cremens. Yeah, I'm going to say Cremens. We'll go there. Now, I will say right there, Jacobs Williams is the guy in the 18. I will say what he did right there. He was getting a run on the leader, Max Williams, but you notice he was not going to be able to catch that bumper before he got to the turn there on the back stretch. You notice he didn't just keep going and getting up there on the bumper and hit him. He stayed off of him going to the turn. Again, showing, I'm going to say, textbook style drafting early on. Now, obviously, at the end of the race, forget about it. He's bump drafting him through the tank turn, because he wants to try to maybe push him up to try to get around it. But early on, if he's not able to get up there to us, see him right here, is he going to get a run? He's going to get a little bump. There he goes, and then watch this. And we're going to get an angle. But, yeah, he comes off of him right in the turn. So, I'm going to tell you, Jacob, I'll give him credit. He knows what he's doing inside that machine right now.
Okay, it looks like he's got a pretty clean head on his shoulders as we got a nice view from his windshield right here. Nice Monster Energy logo looking right there. I know I got a couple Monster looking drinks in my fridge. I got the white ones. But anyways, it's still Monster, but we'll kind of see how he comes up the backstretch, getting a nice run, getting up here. He's sticking his nose in there, giving him a little nudge. Just a nice little bump draft from the backstretch, and perfect as he backs off right here, going into 3 and 4. And I think that's exactly what we've been looking for, and it's pretty nice to see how he's doing this. Very level-headed, it seems. Very disciplined is the word I'm looking for. And
absolutely.
and his decision to when to bump draft and when to not.
Well, and not just him too. There, Alex. You got to look there too. Behind him, you got Ty, Frederick, and all those guys. So everybody right now is kind of the top. I'm gonna say all the way back to the 10 have been patient. Now we got to go back to let's see. Here looks to be a second packet car. Okay, we got to go back here all the way back to about 15th place to Elliott and Cole Bradley. Well, they're
Cole!
No, Cole. Yeah, well, unfortunately, Cole ran 15th, but got no drafting help. A little tore up the car too, so not in the place you want to be. But yeah, the field's kind of really split up. I'm trying to look and see if there's maybe two packs. And actually, it looks like the top running pack here is about 10 to 12 cars. That's what it's looking like. You got to go. Oh, okay. We go back to Chris White. Here we go. Chris White back in 11. So the top 10 all kind of nose to tail. Chris White right now is about 11 seconds back from that pack.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't know how it works. It has always been a phenomenon to me. Sometimes these second packs just cut time off. It's a little hard for me to see. It looks like they're falling off maybe a second or two each lap.
Yeah.
Looks like that front pack, like you said, got is rolling a little bit better. But sometimes these backpacks, you never know. Maybe they'll just catch something. All three of them will get pretty close, nose to tail, and just do it right, and they'll make up some ground. And maybe depending on how long this green flag is going to be, if there's going to be a caution anytime soon, and maybe, who knows, maybe some green flag stops.
And that's
depending on how the race is going to turn out as we go. Coming out of 3 and 4 for these guys, I think. Yeah, it's 3 and 4. There we go.
And here's the thing too with those three, as long as the top group stays in a single file, it's going to be very hard for them to catch. And obviously Elliott back there sitting behind them, tore up a lot. He's not really going to help the two guys in front of him an astronomical amount, pushing or pulling wise. So these three out here pretty much just going to have to hope. Unfortunately, I hope we don't see any more, but they're probably going to need a caution to catch up to the pack, because the green flag stop's just not going to be able to get it done. Because right here, this is the front pack, and Alex, I'm going to tell you that if these guys stay right here doing what they're doing, they're pretty much just textbooking it out here right now. Calm down a little bit. They know what's on the line. We've seen a lot of great heavy hitters here tonight get caught up in the big time wrecks, and right now they know they got a little bit to go.
This group just seems to be rolling. And from what I see, maybe a little less than a second to maybe a second and a half or so a lap. But that's just gonna catch up to the other guys. I know in real life it takes early 50 seconds or so to get around here. Maybe a high 40, like 49 if you are cruising. But I don't know how it transfers over to iRacing personally. I mean, if you could get a lap time up there for everyone to see, I think that'd be pretty sweet. Versus just a gap right now. But kind of curious to see what everyone's lap time is, especially this front group, because they're just separating from the back group.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one there too. Like I said, it's definitely right now, if this group up front stays where they are, so they're going to pull away from what they need. Really, really strong run here so far. Unfortunately, we had some great guys we get caught up in some cautions earlier on, and again, just a little bit of bump drafting going wrong here. As you see, the 4 kind of looks to the outside, and I think the reason is because Frederick is blinking in front of them, and folks, obviously we're on a virtual world. There's some things we can't control, internet, Mother Nature, power outages, stuff like that. and sometimes connection things happen. It looks like Frederick right now, and what that's kind of doing is Hunter and that number 4 machine is a little bit nervous. And when you're drafting like you are, what could happen here, Alex, is now these guys are kind of getting a little weakly there. But what could happen is he could blink one time, and the next thing you know, he could come back in, and he could be basically cause a wreck because the Ford machine's car would be right there inside of him, and it could cause contact. And it's just a scary feeling to see somebody right there. And I know the admins might look on, and if it keeps happening, they'll advise Frederick to, hey, you're blinking just a little bit there. Might need to pull over and see if it calms down. Right now it looks like it's calmed down pretty good, but so something they'll keep an eye on. That's for the admins and whatnot. But that's why you kind of see Hunter right there kind of moving around. He doesn't want to be right there tucked on the back end, if something happens.
Yeah, and I like how he's doing that kind of. It doesn't look like he's trying to make a new groove or nothing, or trying to bait some people out or something to do that or anything. I think he's just like you said, how Frederick's in front of him blinking and whatnot. He's just keeping a good head on his shoulders, and he doesn't want to get caught up in something that won't be really either of their faults. Just like you said, the fault of some out of control circumstances.
Yep.
Which would be unfortunate for one of them or both of them or something. So I think he's doing a good job of, you see him blinking right there, and he's just kind of sitting there, and kind of interesting how that's happening. And maybe we'll see if he tries to make a move and just keep him behind him or something. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to try and do with him, but we'll see how he kind of makes that happen.
Well, right now you can see Frederick, obviously he's going to tug that bottom line because, you can't pass below the yellow line. That's obviously one of the rules here on the big tracks and the rule here in the league. So, normally you see these guys doing that because they come out of the turn, and definitely the first thing is they'll go down low so the guys don't try to pass them. So, Frederick's doing that. And I look at Hunter there. He can't, he gets a run, but he's probably going to need some help to pass him on the high side. The problem is he don't want to give up that position he's in. So, keep doing what he's doing, man. Back off a little bit. He's kind of safe where he's at right now. So, keep an eye on it. Looks like the top 4 or 5 guys right now running all single file. My next question is, looks like we could be getting close to some green flag stops.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what the strategy is going to be. I know it'll probably be difficult for some of these guys to maybe switch chat channels, because as I'm looking right through here on the Discord, everyone's kind of with their team, and kind of talking with their team. But maybe teams will come down. Maybe they'll try and link up with a dude or two in front of them, or a couple, or a few, or whatnot, trying to get a good strategy going, see when everyone else is going, or maybe it'll just be completely reactive. I'm not quite sure how everyone's going to go.
Well, the turtle machine out there, he's kicking it pretty good. He's back up to 9th, looking pretty good so far. So Scott, gonna try his last name because I know I'll mess that thing up, but not bad. He's hooked up on this pack here. Just kind of, let's, from where he's at right now, don't push the envelope. He's on the draft right there at the tail end. Just kind of hang where he is, kind of ride along, because we're at 45. We're getting about halfway into this one. Hey folks, let me know, man, how the stream looks out there to you, how the broadcast looks. Everything looks good to you, man, clear, and hit those likes and the shares. Appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight, kicking off the Great Lakes Cup Series here at Daytona style. It's going to be a good one. We got old Alex up here in the booth with me, man, and it's so far, it's been kind of a typical plate style racing track. Guys out here running into trouble, just some big wrecks here and there. And right now, everybody's kind of single file, kind of running. As they've got a little bit to go, but about to get halfway here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a crack at this. At Scott's last name, and I'm gonna say Sure.
Sure.
Just
all right.
Quick little crack at it. Gotta sympathize with Scott. That's my middle name, so Definitely like it. That's my dad and my brother's name, and also my other brother's middle name. So Scott runs in the family. Also have an uncle Scott. I got an endless number of Scotts in the family. So
There you go.
sympathize with the man. She's got a funky last name, like myself. Schuer. Mine being Civic, just like the car, but with a B instead of a V. Gets butchered all the time, and I bet you his might as well. So as he's kind of making his way back up there, like how we commented earlier about the turtle machine, definitely liking it.
Yeah.
Watching this
Watch
group
this.
is,
Yeah, what's that group again right there? That's the one that's the furthest back. To they've unfortunately they're losing ground. They were on 11 seconds. Now they're about 20 to 30 seconds, and they're just going to keep. It's nothing against them. They just don't have enough cars, enough draft really help right there to pull up on that top pack. I mean, there's too many cars in a single file lane up there running very well for them to even try to catch them. I mean, they're going to need some help. Unfortunately, the dreaded word of either cautions, or they're going to need maybe some pit stop strategy here.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe the lead group will take a lap or two as they're passing Cole right there. And we'll see if they're going to take maybe a lap or two after the leaders go down and maybe try to make as much of a cushion as they can. I mean, obviously with these big tracks and the lead that they have, they might maybe get half a lap in front of them and then be in the same position when they get out. Who knows? But I'm kind of curious as to see the pit strategies that are about to transpire on this long green flag run that we got.
I tell you what, Cole right there, just unfortunate for him, the front of the car, and he's lost the hood on it, so definitely and no drafting help out there whatsoever, so not in the position he wants, and he'd love to probably try to catch that small group, maybe get a little bit of help on drafting, but still hanging on to the 14th place spot. Got Eric Kemp right there in 16th, Matthew Daniels in the 15th spot. Let's see, Elliott Henderson back here in 17th. Actually, here's another group. Josh Worley, Corbin Simmons, Nick Martin, all these guys back here. Pit stops. Looks like got some green flag pit stops, and actually that's a pack we were just talking about that might want to stay out, but maybe they're going to short pit the group up there. So this is another strategy to think about.
Yeah, it could be. Who knows? Maybe, like, this is how the game of chess is going to roll here. Who knows? Maybe these guys are going to, like you said, get a nice pit stop going and then try and make it up as those guys are on pit road and coming off of pit road. So I'm pretty sure it looked like everyone from that group was coming down. Just kind of looking through as who we got number 2.
Well, the number two
spot right
tie,
there.
yeah, it looks like the pack up front that was a big pack there at one time has kind of split up a little bit. I think Frederick's right there. The 4 of Matthew lost the draft. I don't know how he's lost the draft to those guys up there so much. Don't know if maybe those guys maybe got up there racing a little bit. And, yeah, but Hunter in that 4, remember he was up there. Well, he's lost the back end of him.
Looks like these guys are splitting up a little bit. Appreciate this view we get coming off of turn 1 and 2. How along the safer barrier in the fence right there. Every time it loads for me, it shoots a line down the fence. But it looks like these guys are splitting up a little bit. Like you said, not quite sure how he lost the draft right there or what happened, and because we were checking out those guys going down pit road, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
Kind of see if this throws a wrench in some people's strategies, maybe, especially coming up with the pits and he'll just follow the group in front of him. I mean, still top group-ish kind of right here, kind of see if they mirror the guys in front of them. Maybe they try to do another lap or two, or don't know what's going on.
Yeah, not sure here, but Jacob actually right there. So the top 5 cars all kind of still single file. That's going to put Jacob right there. And here they come on pit road. So the top runners, and oh no, the 28. Boy, I tell you what, that save job by him right there. That's actually Frederick. Man, he had that thing all kind of sideways. He come in hot.
Yes, I couldn't tell if he got hit a little bit.
Looked like he just come in hot, just like come in hot, just hit the brakes, and I'm gonna tell you, and I know, man, Alex, man, getting on pit road sometimes can be treacherous.
Definitely seen it more than my fair share at times. I'll tell you, watching that, how squirrely it can get coming onto pit road, especially after going from these speeds coming into green flag stops, especially at a track like this when you're rolling pretty much as fast as you can. Seeing them go from as fast as they're going down to pit road speed, and sometimes it just gets a little hairy right there on the entrance, and as we saw just there, it did just that.
I'll tell you what was more interesting there too. I don't know if you saw that. A lot of those guys did not take tires, and we were talking about that earlier on. Some of these pit stops, I mean, you don't have to take tires, folks. I mean, you're not all about the tire taking. You can get away with actually running a set very long here on a plate style track, but you notice they took fuel. Some guys might opt to take 2 tires since you're taking full fuel anyways, and it's pretty much time wise is, hey, you might as well take 2 tires. But ZF out there though giving us some information here. They only have 3 sets of tires. I like that. That's another thing, Alex, we haven't really pointed out too much, because tires tonight really aren't not like when we get into next week's style race where that track will be a little, where tire management will come into play. But in a plate track, it's not really the most important thing. But I like the fact that they lowered it down to 3 sets, because to me, now you get into almost like that realistic way of thinking. Man, I got to manage my tires. I got to manage my pit stop, and it's not always just about pure speed. You got to have strategy involved, which is like you said, the chess match style in real racing.
Yeah, that's news to me, coming with the 3 sets of tires. I mean, granted, it is 100 laps, not 200 like they usually run in the real life Cup Series, but still, I mean, that still will definitely play a factor in everything that you just listed. It definitely plays a big, might throw a wrench in a couple guys' strategies and whatnot. And I think Cole Bradley right there, he got a little caught up in the wreck, the previous one, and he just caught the nose on someone. Looked like, if I remember seeing that correctly, it looked like he just caught his nose on someone, and maybe that's why he got his little damage up front like that and kind of falling off, as he's trying to maybe catch a draft on the low end, maybe get as much help as he can.
Yeah, he's currently right there running about the 14th place spot, a couple laps down and whatnot. As you see the top guys here, Ty's the man out there leading this pack right now, along with Max sitting right behind him, Jacob Williams. So everybody again right there, kind of single file in a freight train. And it's really what they need to do, to sit there, be kind of patient and so forth. Well, hey folks, let us know, some of you guys out there. I know Worm out there, he's pulling for the 47. Let us know who your favorite driver is, who your favorite car, if you got a favorite paint job, team, or whatnot, who you starting to pull for here in the Great Lakes Cup Series here, kicking it off here tonight. Really good one so far. Guys being patient now. And man, I'll tell you what, the one loser on that pit stop got to be that man right there, Hunter. Wow, he's kind of a sitting duck. No help. I don't know what happened to him though. He came in with the pack.
Yeah, I can't say that I know what happened to him coming off a pit road like that, or going in or coming out like that. But there's no, like you said, no help. It's just gonna make the entire situation worse for him. Is these guys are just gonna pass him like he ain't even got his foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, and he might be able to hook up the back end of them though.
Yeah, he might be able to link up with some of these guys coming up behind him. Because he got a couple here. Maybe gain some speed right here. It looks like he latches on pretty well. Maybe not
close.
as good as it could be, but he's got some aerodynamic help here. He's not too far, you know.
I think he might be able to, if he can maybe hold on right there, he might be able to pull back up on those guys. We'll just have to keep a look at it right there, because that's a Michael Augusto right there in the number 9th place spot. You got Frederick, we were talking about, who was up there. So unfortunately, Hunter not faring too well on his pit stop. Tie the man out front right now, so everybody's kind of single file, getting what they can get here so far. A little bit of groups here and there though. Oh, John Bean, what's up, man? John, how you doing out there? That you're out. Happy weekend. Hey, you come in for the big one. Hey, what's going on, John? How you doing, man? Appreciate everybody. Like I say, hit those likes and share out there for these guys, man. They definitely, and hit the subscribe button, man. We got a lot of racing here on the channels. We're live tonight on Facebook and YouTube here on the OSR Network. Go online, simracingnetwork.com. Your home for fun and exciting sim racing. Kicking off the Great Lakes Cup Series. I won't say truck series because I did so many trucks. We do have the Great Lakes Truck Series, though. They're kicking off January the 5th, folks. So, stay tuned. The Truck Series on Tuesday night, we'll be kicking it back up January the 5th. So, after the New Year's, we put 2020 in the back burner somewhere. But the New Year, the Truck Series will be kicking off. But this is the Cup Series, kind of a different series here for these guys on the Saturday nights. Definitely kicking this thing off here. We've got a lot of great racing, man, going to happen. We've got obviously G-Force League. Check us out there. Run the G-Force Esports on YouTube and OSR Network on Facebook there for some dirt racing if you like it. And then, we're kicking around about February or March of next year. We're going to have on Sunday nights, we're going to have the 7500 Xfinity Series on that night. So, got a lot of great racing coming up throughout the seasons here, but these guys in these cup cars, man, right now, tell you what, Alex, they're doing what they need to do. It's lap 63 right now. Still got to be a little bit patient out here, though.
Absolutely, rolling with the patience. I like how we haven't had any more wrecks, really. Personally, again, just me personally, I don't like the difference. Just a bunch of different groups and whatnot. I like the intense, everyone's together kind of racing, But needless to say, typically this is something that happens pretty frequently at these kind of tracks and whatnot. You'll get a group that's kind of chugging up front, a group that ain't quite up to speed, but I feel like towards the end, people, like you said, are going to get a little more squirrely. We got someone down there with some issues, it seems.
Yeah, motor problem. It looks like the motor expired on him, probably overheated or something like that. Can happen. Blew the motor there, unfortunately for him, and night will be done there. So trying to make it back to pit road. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm with you, being patient. I love, everybody loves coming to the plate tracks in that side-by-side drafting style racing. But, again, got to take it back to can't overdrive these cars, and you can't overdo it. We've seen it earlier on. The guys are just kind of overdriving just a little bit and got them in trouble, So, hey, it is what it is on it. But the man who's benefited from it, the Canadian himself. Well, he's out front. Old Ty right there. Got with that Toyota. A slew of Chevys behind him, some Fords there. So got a mix of good manufacturers throughout the top 10. Lap car, move up out the way. Good job on his there. Everybody goes through. Again, at some point, you've got to just be patient, you know. And I think right now these guys are showing it.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job of showing that, like I said earlier, that discipline. They're all keeping their stuff in check, themselves in check, making sure they're not causing any problems for themselves or maybe the people around them. And I think that comes into a huge factor in the fact that this green flag run has been as long as it has here. Definitely making sure that you're on top of your stuff and you're holding yourself accountable. That's the most you can do, because you never know what the guy in front of you, behind you, next to you is going to do. But looks like they're all doing pretty well at making sure everything's rolling really smooth, showing some great patience, like you said. Everyone knows it's not time. It's not time yet to make those last second race winning moves. It ain't time yet. But once we get maybe in the next, I don't know, 25, 30 laps or so, we'll be seeing it. We'll be seeing it, you know.
Well, you start at that point. You know, normally I always say with about 20 to go, business is about to pick up. You know, run what you brung. Now on a plate track, you still at 20 to go. It's kind of a long way, but you want to start at that point, like you just said. That's a perfect example. Thinking about, who do I work with? Who's my man? It looks like old Cole Simmons right there went around. Replay and see if we see. I think he was the one that the motor expired. Yep, he just stopped. There he towed it back to the line. But going back on what you were saying right there, man, Alex, is you know, about 20 to go, you need to start putting yourself in a position. Who do I work with? Who's going to be, you know, who do I need to work with? Where do I need to be? Start putting yourself in that position to be there at the front. And you've seen this second pack has caught the leaders. So now we're seeing them form up on the high side because they're coming up on them. Again, normally I would say, great, do this. But I think it's a little early for them to maybe go side by side. I know they caught up to them. Again, get up there, ride with them a little bit. Don't want to get over, what the word I'm looking for, but kind of just overconfident, I guess, on the track. As that second pack has caught them, so now we're back up to about, looks like about another 10 cars for the top pack here.
Yeah, I think this might be a little mix of the leaders and some of the guys that are lapped down, because looking up at the scoreboard, or right there on the side, looks like you got the top 10 on the lead lap, and then everyone 11th and down is back some laps. But that doesn't mean that they can't be up with the guys at front still racing. Definitely there's been quite a few mix-ups, as definitely you have seen. I definitely have seen them as well, with lap cars racing the leaders, and a lot of mix-ups with it. But it looks like these guys are kind of just rolling past and are trying to make sure that these guys are making what they can happen.
Well, right now, battle for the lead up front there. Michael, he's trying to high line over Ty, as they're going to go door to door. We've not seen too many people so far take the high lane. You've got double file, 2x2. Right there, Ty's on the low side, Michael's on the high side. So this is a battle for the lead. That number 5 is going to try it.
And you got who's sitting right there in number 3. You got Caleb DeSorda. Right?
DeSorda. Folks, we'll apologize on some of these names. We'll get the last names right for the end of the season here, but kind of new to some of them. There's yeah, you're right. Caleb right there hanging on to right now will be second, because everybody's going to go kind of single files. Looks like the top lane kind of fizzled out just a little bit.
Yeah, looking at Caleb right there in the number 3 machine, He looks at yellow. Yellow reminds me of seeing some corn sitting around here back in the cornfields, driving from where I'm from to here and all that jazz. And because these guys are kind of dipping back down maybe to single file racing or so for a little bit, but he's got the nice Wrangler on the front, and definitely like that.
I'm gonna tell you, you know what they did right there? They just tested the waters on the outside. And I've always said this with any racing, not just plate racing, but you don't have to pass the guy. You see right there, good bump draft, and he backs off going to the turn. But you don't have to pass the guy. You just got to get your nose in front of him to win the race. So, you know, coming along, if you can get that outside lane going, he doesn't. You don't have to particularly pass to guy on the inside. You just got to be able to get your nose out there in front. So something to maybe look out for at the end of it here. As you see again, here comes the turtle power. He's going to try the outside lane.
I mean, with the teachings from Master Splinter, like they've all had, you got to know that he might be rolling that to hone some energy from that.
Oh yeah,
Master Splinter and the power of the four turtles, you know. Maybe
no
that's
doubt.
what's powering them to the front, but who knows, as we just about 3/4 of the way done almost, and here he comes up on the high side around maybe to the front. We'll see if he leads his lap or not. He's got help from the
perfect example. What I said, just have to have the nose out front, and he did lead it. So if that was a last lap dash, I mean, right there you go. That's just what I was talking about. One thing I'm also seeing here, that I've said before, his dancing partner right now, that 23 machine of Jason Miz, has brought him to the party up top, and they're working together well. Now they got some lap cars they're going to have to contest with. I hope they get out of the way as they kind of like swinging around just a little bit. And yeah, they got by a lap car. But Jason up there in that 23 brought him to the party. He did not drop down and leave his dancing partner up top. He's up there working well. So this is something these two guys are going to remember at the end. Another thing, you talk about chess match a lot there, Alex. You see the 3 car where he is right now. If this is coming down, let's say we're coming down to the last lap, the 3 machine would have really at this point, well, where he's at right now, he'd only have one option: push Ty to the lead. Okay, because he can't go low. He can't go no lower because he can't pass on the low line. Can't go high because his high lane's blocked because he got a car on the outside right there. So really where he is, he's kind of stuck. As opposed to Jason. Jason does have an option. He's got that third line up there. We're not seeing anybody do it, but he could go high and try to make it 3 wide for the lead. So really, at some point, that's what I take it back to. You've got to start seeing where you're at, who you're going to help, who you're working with, and right now these guys know who they're working with pretty good.
Yeah, these guys are rolling. I'm kind of excited to see them coming up the backstretch this turn, because as we saw it, literally a perfect view of it last lap as the perfect example of disciplined bump drafting on this racetrack in this league, as how they were bumping up. And both of them, you got Jason Miz right there, and Caleb DeSorda. They both bump drafted. From what I saw in that view, it was perfect along that backstretch. They both got their bumpers in there, and then they both backed off at the same time going into the corner so that they wouldn't cause any issues with their driver in front of them, with themselves, with the guys off to their sides. And that was perfect. We're kind of seeing how it's going to come up right here.
Well, you saw right there, too, the 3. He just bumped just a little bit, got that 71 little wiggly, and was backed off so that he could get that car straightened out. Now, what I like up here in the front, you're seeing Scott. Normally, when a guy gets that far in front, he instantly drops down. I like the fact he is staying with his partner up there. Now, if he can get him clear, I feel like if he's probably thinking, if I could get him clear, then yeah, we both would drop down. But he is not leaving. He's working so well with the 23 machine right now. And it's a good shot to show you just the drafting and what these guys, they still at this point, you know, Alex, they have to be careful. Don't want to get up here and be over aggressive in the turns, you know, and wreck these things. And you see them right there, the bump down the back stretch, back off a little bit in the turn, perfect. So far looking very well. Try to maybe get a little, you know, side draft too. That works here too.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep hammering on their level of discipline, and it comes with a couple practice races they've had this week in this league, which I got to sit in on a couple and see and get some insider information from some of the guys that were racing in them. But I like how you said the dancing partner. He's staying with him up top, and like being an Earnhardt fan, I of course listened to Dale Jr.'s podcast and Dale Jr. Download. And a while ago, he had, as we get a little squirrely up there as the 3 goes in the wall. My goodness.
Man, hard in the wall. Caleb right there. It's going to probably, I don't know if it's bringing the caution out or not. We're still green because he's off the track. But man, let's go back. Oh, let's go back and watch what happened right there. Oh, it looks like a lap car got down into Jason, and then Jason had nowhere to go and got down into, unfortunately, the 3 of Caleb. And luckily, I'll tell you what, nobody else was well. A couple cars got bumped, but that could have been a lot worse than what it was. But man, the unfortunate set of circumstances there for Caleb, and his night's probably done because that thing is smoking. Wow. Oh, man. Hate that for him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Caleb Distorter over here. I mean, he's rocking the 3. He's got the good wrench. He's got good wrench on the number 3 as well, which I'm definitely a fan of. As we got some pit stops going on right here.
Well,
pit stops with about 20 to go.
Saw that earlier too. Saw some guys pitting earlier here while these guys was up there racing. So I was about to say before we saw Cleve hit the wall, unfortunately, there is it looks like these guys are going to have to make pit stops, you know, in this. And it looks like 2 tires stop. Fill it up with fuel. We're going here. Is what Scott did right there. And looks like the other top runners are going to come along with them. And looks like Jason's going to come out there with Scott. So those 2 guys who are working together really well come out of the pits, and that's what you want. You want your partner to come out. That's pretty much that's what you want right there, man, Alex. You know, if you 2 guys were working well, you came in the pits together, you're coming out to the pits together right there, so they'll be able to hook back up.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. Unfortunately, the lead guy, Williams,
has not pitted yet. He hasn't pitted yet. Now,
yeah.
And I got a feeling, one, there's 2 things here. Well, never mind. Here he's coming on pit road. I was about to say 2 things here. He's out there by himself. This right here might cost him. Why he did not come in with those guys, I have no clue. Unless he just wasn't out there. Anyways, as you see now, Ty and the leaders just go rumbling by, and we'll take back over the lead. So Ty's back out front. Scott's there in second. Jason's behind him. Now here's the thing. Ty has lost his partner. Unfortunately, Khalib hit the wall earlier on. So he's going to have to maybe hope that Michael, or now, here's another thing. Jason has a choice. He was working well with Scott, but if Scott jumps to the outside, does Jason go with him this time or stay down low? There's your chess match thing out there, man. You gotta. That's where the strategy's involved. You know where do I start putting myself? You got to think about it. Where do I start putting myself in what position I need? You see the 4 machine back there. Unfortunately, he's lapped down. He's got really nothing to lose. He can help any one of these guys. So that's another thing to keep in mind there too. So what do you think the play is here, Alex?
Honestly, I think, because I'm trying to take a peek over here at the teams. Kind of see if anybody right here is linked up together. But it seems like Scott Schuer right here in the 83 Ninja Turtles machine that we got going on. And like you said, he had his partner, Jason Miz, right there in the 23. I think whatever he will do, Jason is going to go with him.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think if maybe he makes a move to the outside, Jason's going to go with him. And they will just leave Ty out to go with the win, do what he does. But who knows? Maybe, who knows? I'm trying to coordinate with the teams kind of right now, flipping through it right here. But that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, you've got the wild card there too of the 4 of Hunter. Now remember, he's back in 9th. I know what Hunter's thinking right now. Man, I'm trying to get up here and get my lap back. But it really is not going to benefit him to get up there and push the issue. He really needs probably like a caution at this point to get it back. Because he is driving pretty wild right now. So he's on it. Who does he go with? Does he help Ty? Does he go with the guys up top? Now, like what you said, Jason might go with Scott. Throw this in there. Is Michael and Jason hook up together here and try to overtake the top 2? But you see right there, Hunter in that 4, he seems to be set on trying to get to the front. Maybe he's saying, hey, Jason, I'm giving you a hint. I'm wanting to go high. Go high, I'm going with you, you know? But then again, Jason went high. And boom. So, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the wow. Okay, with you. I mean, I don't know exactly what
I think
he's kind of thinking.
Well, at this point, Hunter, even if he got up there and got in front of the leader, yeah, it put him on the lead lap. I guess it's a lap down. I'm not looking at it now, but even if he got him on the lead lap, he's not gonna get away from this pack to get all the way back around the track to be in contention. Really, right now, maybe you can do your investigative reporting and let us know. Is any of those guys up there Hunter's teammate at this point? Because it might be the fact of, let me get to one of my teammates here and I'm going to help him out. I'm not, like you said, that's something as the season goes on, we'll learn about the teams, but is that another scenario?
From what I'm seeing right now in the team chat, for the one that labels the teams, right? It looks like Hunter is his own team. To me, HM Racing looks like he's his own team. From what I'm seeing, I see the number 4, Hunter Montelenas, right here. I don't see any other name with him. So that piques my curiosity right there, kind of seeing what he's kind of thinking. Maybe he thinks, hey, if there's a caution, me being up here with these guys really solidifies the fact that I'll get back on the lead lap and maybe be in contention. Who knows? But it looks like he's by himself.
Well, and another thing, you got to look, time's running out on it too, and at some point he's going to have to think, well, I'm going to have to see who I want to help up here, because he's going to be that also, I think, wild card driver being the laps down. The other 3 are there. And right now, obviously, Jason's going to go, it eventually is going to get to the point Jason's going to be like, look, either going to try to help one of us or not, because I'm racing for the lead and the win, you're not. So what, it's kind of a catch-22 of a lead car. Obviously, Hunter's fast enough to be there with them. I'm just looking now. Now Scott's got to look and go, if I jump to the outside, does Jason come with me? Because the 4 might not. We've already seen what he's going to do. Looks like he's going to stay low. But now does Jason come with me, or does he go low? And looks like we might have even more cars in this pack. It's Frederick. Nope, that's not Frederick. My bad. The more lap machines have caught it. The 5 machine there, Michael has caught it. So the 4th place has caught it. the fifth place. So we've got 5 machines here now, not including the number 4 machine up there of Hunter. 5 machines going to be vying for the lead here. Well, it's a whole different ball game now.
Yeah, I was about to say these guys came on quick, because a couple laps ago we were looking at a decent lead between those two and that lead group of 4 cars we were just talking about, but now they're right here with them. As we got Michael Agosto, right? Michael Agosto?
Yeah, Michael, looks like
right there in the number 5 machine.
I'll say Augusto. How's that? Augusto. I'm going to put the emphasis Augusto. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to get with each of the people so I don't butcher these last names, you know.
But he's right there. And here's another thing. Everybody's kind of running, kind of single file right now. Frederick is a little further back. Frederick's way off the pace, 24 seconds back in the 6th place spot. So it's pretty much the races here in the top 5 here. So we're 10 to go in this one, and you see the run that Michael's going to get. The problem is he's got no help on the top side. My question now is what does Scott do? And it takes me back to what I said earlier. If you know you can't win this thing, finishing second's better than finishing way back in 5th or 10th or whatever. So if it's the case of, do I push Ty to the win? Because right now he knows behind him Hunter not a threat to take his position away, but Jason is. So right now Scott's got a little bit of a cushion. The problem is he knows at this point he doesn't know whether or not he's got help or not behind him, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here, how this thing's going to play out.
I'm kind of curious, as I personally think Scott Stewart probably going to make a move. If it's my mentality coming into the opening race of the season, I'm going for the gold. I'm not settling for second. And seeing as I know that there is a 1-car cushion right behind me, and that I was doing really well if I was Scott Stewart right now. If I was doing really well with Jason Miz, especially with coming up and getting up and being a contender in this group, my mentality is, hey, if we get down to 2 laps to go, last lap or something like that, I'm going to make a move. I'm going to bide my time right now. I'm going to make a move. Hopefully Jason Miz comes up with me, my drafting partner from before. Granted, he's a car behind the car he's 2 cars behind him, I guess you could say. But maybe Jason Miz can make a move, try and get around the number 4, get with his drafting partner from before earlier in the race. But we also got to take into account the 2 drivers that came up and caught this group that are now in contention, because as well as I do, with 7 laps to go, those guys are not out of it at all.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, you're right. You got to look. Any one of these top 5 guys can still win this race. I know we're talking about the top 2 there, but any of them, because, whatever move that Scott might do or Jason and him does, it's going to affect the drivers behind him too, because I got a feeling, though, here it's going to come down to the last lap. Nobody's going to move. Maybe somebody might test that waters to the outside, but everybody looks content. I think they know what the outside's going to do, and they're going to need help to get it done. I don't think you're going to see one car jump to the outside and go to the front. We've not seen that all night long, so you're going to need help. The problem is, who's going to be the one to jump out there, and hopefully somebody comes with you, helping you, because obviously once you jump out, you leave the inside open, and when you do that, guess what? That one car goes, hey, that's the inside.
Yeah, that's also something to take into account. Maybe you think, hey, I had this guy's help before, maybe I'll have his help now, and then you just jump out there and you are a sitting duck, and you're just screwed for the rest of these cars that are just going to blow right past you.
And that's why I was bringing up the thing about with Scott there. You know, I know, like you said, I agree with you. You don't want to settle for second. You'd love to win this thing and put it out front. But at what point does he go, man, if I go to the outside? Now, if he sees maybe, let's say back here with Max, Michael and them, and maybe with Jason, if he sees those guys go high and start coming to the front, absolutely jump up there with them before, you know, they get up there to you. Absolutely, and let them push you in there. But for him to make the first move, and that's the frustration part of the driver. You got to know that, Alex. I mean, you're sitting there going, okay, who makes the first move? And that's, man, as a driver, that's where it's like,
Yeah, as we're coming in, about to be 3 laps to go. I'm kind of, as we got a move going on the outside, the dishwasher
and
is
a
on
perfect
full
what I just
spin
said.
cycle right now. Here we go.
What did I just say that Scott would do? As soon as he saw one of those cars behind him jump up, he was going to the high lane, and absolutely Max did it in the 52. Scott's up front, went to the top lane, and now you see the top lane forming with 4 cars, and they are shooting to the front. And you see Scott again. This right here is perfect. The problem is Michael or Max was able to get a run down on the inside. Scott still has help up top. Here comes the race, though, right now. Can those 3 cars up top muster back up and get back to the front?
Yeah, that was a great move. I mean, like you said, the 52 and Max Williams got a great run, and now they're kind of leaving Scott Schuer right there back with Michael Agosto kind of falling off a little bit as Max did a great job of moving through that and picking who he wanted.
Yes, he did.
Now as Jason Miz kind of goes up top, kind of eyeing it a little bit, see if maybe he could get the reversal from his draft partner of Scott Schuer earlier. Maybe Scott will help him come up these next 2 laps or so.
Well, now's the time when you start seeing the temperatures, man, getting a little bit high on the track. These guys are going to start pushing a little bit more as time's winding out. Now you see right there the Ford machine, 100 down low. You're going to see those top 3 cars start to come to the front. As again, it's not over with here, folks. If they stay hooked up in a line, the one thing that 23 doesn't want to do is drop down. He might try it, but he wants to stay high. We're going to see if Ty's going to move up top. He does, but they're 3 wide for the lead. They had such a momentum run right there. Nothing they can do. They're 3 wide up front. Boy, this is where it gets hairy as drivers. But everything's on the line for the win here.
Yeah, as you got Scott and Max, Jason coming up on the top. But I personally like how Hunter in the number 4 is staying up here. Oh, as we're getting a little squirrely back there as Ty goes around.
Ty goes around, collects the 52 who was out front. He stays on it, up into the wall, back down on the track. Wow, was able to hang on to that thing. No caution. We're still green flag up front. Checkered flag coming to the line. Guess who's going to win it? Scott is going to pull this thing off in the turtle machine. Michael's going to come out here. Wow. What a finish to this one here. But I tell you what, let's go back. Go back on Max here a little bit. White flag came out. Let's watch the final lap again, because there was a lot of little chaos that went on right there. As the white flag was out, these guys, man, were all just tooth and nail right here. And they're coming around down the back stretch. You saw bump drafting happening into the turn, and you saw right there Max got hit. Ty went around. The 4 almost got clipped, and just like that, and then Scott out of the turn with the turtle machine, powering it to the front, winning it here, crossing the line. What a finish to this one. Wow. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. The man's gonna burn it down.
I mean, love to see a good burnout hopefully he's gonna do. But no, how squirrely can you get on the last lap? I mean, that was exciting stuff. Unfortunately, for those that were running up front, it's Daytona and it's the last lap. It's the first race of the season. What else do you expect?
Awesome, man. It was awesome, man. The finish of this one, just a wow. And I got to give my hats off to these guys. They were, a lot patient throughout there at the second part of the race. And, man, what a way to kick the season off.
That was great as we got Scott still burning out. I mean, I'd be burning out for super long time. If it was me. If it was my first season, I mean, I don't know if it's his first season, probably not. But if it was my first race of the season and I won it, I'd be going crazy, knowing me. And I mean, granted, it's iRacing, but still, I'd be pumped. I'm pumped for him.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, man, let's bring up the third place guy here. Let's get a word with him.
Max, Alex in the booth, do you have us?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, dude? You made a real good move coming up there, biding your time throughout most of the race. Real good move up towards the front at the end, coming up to be first for a little bit. Explain that to me and your train of thought a little bit. Let me see what you're kind of thinking.
Really, with all the chaos, we were just trying to have a car at the end. With me and my teammates, Corbin and Jacob and Chris. Corbin was in that lap 1 incident, so me and Jacob and Chris were pretty much working together the whole race, trying to just be easy. We led a couple laps at the middle part of the race, and then pit cycle we got off to like the end of the lead pack, but we were fine. And then coming towards the end, we kind of got off sequence there from that wreck right before going for like pit stops. But we caught back up to the pack, and then he was able to fall in line behind me because he got off sequence because of the pit stop, so he was behind me. So it was Chris and Jacob behind me. They were a lap down, but they were helping me, and we were just going to try and make a move to the front. And we had it there for a little bit, like 98 coming to 99, and then they had to run 2 guys that on the outside of me, and they just got right up to me. They just barely cleared me, but then he got back up to my bumper, Jacob did, and I went right, and then he went right, and then I came back left, and we hit, and then I lost it, and then we made more contact, but I was just going for the win. I don't think I actually hit him or anything. I think we just hit each other. I don't think I came up on him at all. But it was a good one for sure. Like I was there at the end and I had a chance to go for it. So it was a good race.
Definitely a super exciting last couple laps or so right there. Especially having you and Michael kind of coming up, catching the lead pack of 4, well 3 in the lap car who was kind of hanging with them. That was pretty good stuff to see over here. I'm looking at your car right now, and I see you got Georgia Tech.
Absolutely.
Up there. Is that a school of choice or a school you go to, or what is it?
School of choice. They're a big fan ever since I was a little kid, so trying to represent the Yellow Jackets as good as I can. So.
Yeah, definitely a nice looking car. Great racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then,
I don't know if Joe's got anything for you, but let me ask you: is there anyone, anything or anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, or how you feeling about that?
I'm feeling really good. Like I said, even though I didn't get the win, we had that last lap incident. Still got top 3 for the team. I'll shout out my teammates obviously for all the help they did. We led a bunch of laps and we were there at the end. I'll shout out Matthew Mann as well. We're racing for him. I'm getting a decal put on my car for next week. I heard he's going through some stuff with cancer, so all the best out to him, and hope we made him proud tonight.
Yeah, personally, I didn't know anything about that, but shout out to him as well. Know that could be a tough time. I'm glad we can represent any way we can. Joe, you got anything for him?
Well, man, I tell you what a wild run here tonight, and awesome way to kick off the Cup Series here, man. I tell you what, that was a good move out there, but hey, nonetheless, you came home in third. Good run for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Good first race.
Absolutely. Well, tell you what, there you go. Third place man, Max Williams. He tried to put Max Mefford out there. Well, let's bring up this guy here who pulled it off here tonight. Scott, Joe White in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. We always said you got the turtle power out there tonight, and you were able to power that thing to the front. Did you think you were going to be able to, get the win? It looked like a kind of a chess match up there for a little bit.
Yeah, I knew if I just kept the high side, I might have had a good chance at it, and it just really played out at the end right there with everybody kind of wrecking.
Oh, no doubt, man. I tell you what, and you had the high side. It looked like you committed to the high lane. A lot of guys I've seen. Was you a little worried with the move early on that Max did? You went high. You saw Jason stayed with you there for they always say your dancing partner stayed with you there for a long time. But when Max did what he did that kind of worry you a little bit when you fell back?
Yeah, I saw him getting the outside going, and I had to take the chance and go up there because I knew it could work.
Oh, no doubt. What's that?
This is all a chance.
Oh, man. Well, and that's why I say a lot of luck is involved here. You got to put yourself in the right position here at Talladega. Oh, I'm still stuck on Talladega for some reason. Daytona. I know. Daytona here tonight to kick off the Great Lakes Cup Series here. What an outstanding run. What a finish to it here. You got anybody you want to shout out for the wins there, Scott?
I really don't know anybody right now, but I thank you guys for putting the broadcast on, and Chris for putting the league on.
Well, I'm going to have to ask then, is it safe to say this is your first win in the series or the league here?
Yes, it is.
All right.
First race, first win.
Man, I tell you what, you can't cap it off no better than that. Come out here with a turtle machine, man. Comes to the front side here. First race, first win in the league. I tell you what, hopefully many more to come. Was a great run for you out there. And I know me and Alex got a question here on it. Your last name, is it Schuer?
It is Shire.
Shire. Okay. We will try to remember that. Don't beat up on me too much throughout the season here, so I'll try to remember it. Names last names I'm bad at. So, hey, Scott, good run, good race, man. Again, congratulations on that win.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Tell you what, there, boy. Alex, man, what a wow! And a guy, man, first race, first time here in the league, winning it here tonight. And man, that's just awesome here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find Michael here to get a word with him, but he came home in second here tonight, so we definitely want to give him a shout out, and maybe if he is here maybe next week or so forth, we'll get a word in with him. But Alex, what a way to kick off, man, the Cup Series here tonight at Daytona. You got any final words?
I'm just happy about the great race that was put on. Spectacular finish, as we saw. We were talking about the turtle machine all night. Definitely happy for him. First race, like he said, first win. As I was just talking about, doing a real cool burnout. Oh my God, I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. But great race. Happy for Scott to win that. Like I said earlier, good name. It's in my name, so good name. Happy for all the guys that were racing, and shout out to all the people that came out to watch it, either on Facebook or YouTube, like you said. You as well, and having this broadcast going, and just looking forward to a great season, man.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you what, folks, hope you enjoyed that one. We're going to leave Daytona here. The man right there, Scott, the Turtle Machine, pulls it off here for the Great Lakes Cup Series. What a wild one here to kick off the season. For myself, Alex, and everybody here at the Great Lakes, everyone, have a good night.